Today we're looking at a flowering bonsai. It is now late summer. Let me go back to the beginning of the story and show you what I started off 2 years ago. This was dug from a garden. I wired it once, but haven't done anything else to it. This is Jelle, growing bonsai, looking at an hibiscus. I'm going to clean it up, wire it out, let it grow, and hopefully show you the final image in 6 months' time with flowers on it. Now, this is an hibiscus. And hibiscus, there are tropical varieties, but there are also temperate varieties. This is a temperate variety. It can stay outdoors all year long. What it doesn't do all that well is recover from big cuts. What I've noticed is there is a lot of dead areas on these trunks. So I'm going to remove all this dead stuff, leaving just the dead wood. I'm not going to work the dead wood, I'm just going to clean it up, and I'm going to wire these out. These are plants of full sun. They love sun. They need to be in a well-drained mixture. Never dry out. That's pretty much it. I fertilize it just like all my other bonsai. I don't really think about it. I'm a little bit annoyed with the top here that has died off completely. This branch is going to be the new top. And then this is going to be roughly the front. Probably. Let me do a little bit of a check. Here I removed the big side branch. Here I removed the branch. So let's look at this tree from a styling perspective, right? Here you have a nice cut-free view. If I remove everything here in the back and I say this one or that one is going to be my new leader, I'm going to remove everything else, have a branch here and use one of the branches on this side. But this is all dead, look. So this is not really great. Now turning it around, that stays the same here, and here we have this big chop. Let me have a look, and underneath the chop, no, the bark has not really grown over it. So also here there's not a lot of potential for a front. And that is why this is a good front, because there's no big cuts. This I can use as a side branch and I can just let this erode out. I'm not sure how far it is dead, but there's a lot of dead stuff in here. This will cover that a little bit if I wire it out. Then this chunk here probably needs to be removed at some point because it's all dead and soft. But there's no hurry. I can just let the tree do its thing. This would be a good front. There's also another reason why it's a good front. If you look from the side, you see that the trunk then has a movement towards the front, which is always good for perspective when you're building a bonsai. So this is going to be the front. I have a few branches in the back, which I'm going to leave for now to not have the tree die off any further. This is going to be more horizontal. I'm basically going to give it a bit of a tulip or a wine glass bowl shape. This branch is going to come down in here. Then I have a few branches in the back. Let me wire it out and I'll show you what I mean. Removed all the dead stuff, and now it's a matter of using 2 and 2.5 millimeter wires to wire these out. I might use a few tension wires to just bring the branch down and only use the wire to shape it. And another dead branch. There we go. This is really nice. Using 2 millimeters of wire, I am noticing how pliable these branches are. You can just shape these without any worries. So no need for tension wires. It's just a matter of coiling this around, making sure that I don't cover too many buds as they are emerging. Which brings me to the time of the year that I'm doing this. This is early spring. We've just had Easter. And this will then, after this work, need to be protected a little bit from frost, right? And the rest of the time it's just going to be in the full sun. Something like this. How do you like that? Maybe this can go down and come up a little bit more like this. Not the final length, of course, but I want the lower branches to thicken, so I'll leave a little bit more and reduce these in length, so these get thicker relative to the canopy. And zack! Before you know it, we're late summer. Look at that! Gorgeous purple flower. I'll show you a close-up of that flower. Now of course over summer I removed most of these wiring. I left a few smaller ones on branches that didn't grow fatter all that much. Now even though I removed the wires quite early because I don't really know how this responds to scarring, I think they've set quite reasonably. If you look at this branch and the angle and you look at this branch and the shape, it is actually set quite well. This is the primary, this is the top of the trunk. The continuation of my main trunk will of course have to grow a lot, but the branches in itself have set quite reasonably. Also here in the back there's nice movement in it. They're nice similarly angled, so I think that over winter it won't be all that hard to bring this back into shape. And at that time I'll also look at the dead wood and I'll see how much carving do I need to do. Maybe remove the whole stump because this is starting to stabilize as a whole. So I realize this is a quite short video about hibiscus bonsai. If you do like it though, drop me a comment, pop the like button, and actually if you are not subscribed to this channel yet, hit subscribe, then you get an update. And now is actually a really good time to consider pruning and wiring the branches anew. Now I'm not going to do that, I'm just going to wire this out again in winter, just like I did this year. The plant didn't seem to have any negative effects from it. This is just allowed to sit in the garden and flower. And then over winter I'll work here on the dead wood. I'll wire out these new extensions and trim them back as well. But look at all these flower buds. I think it would be a shame to cut them off now. This is a plant that, I don't know, it might be one day a good bonsai. But for now I'm also growing it a little bit for the flowers. So it's not the right time for me to prune back. Rewiring I could of course still do, but with all the leaves in place, maybe that's not the best idea, right? So yeah, this is a first simple video on hibiscus. Hibiscus as a bonsai. This dead stuff has not gone down the trunk any further. Here you can actually see that there's a little bit of callus growing over the wound. This is really great news, seems to have stabilized the dieback. Also on this side, rather than dying back further, it seems to callus over. The old dead wood is starting to crack, starting to deter. Yeah, quite happy how this is developing now. But yeah, I said it should be rewired and pruned, but come on, with these flowers, who's gonna rewire? Thank you very much for watching. This was Jelle growing bonsai with a flowering hibiscus. Isn't the purple great? Thank you for watching. See you next time and keep growing bonsai.